Yep. So in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, we have got the green Protoss, currently teamless, playing for his first. I think might be his actual first win in a tournament ever. He's Kiwikaki in here, but he is definitely Blysk.
Oh, before we introduce our next player, he's going for some shenanigans. 6-pill coming off the bat here. Let's introduce him. Seed Gaming's Mighty Kiwi.
Yeah, definitely pulling out all the stops. But Blysk, he's got the pylon in base. This is a very long rush. Just I'm not even going to say it. You'll know what I mean. If he banks a gate, that's pretty much game over for Mighty Kiwi.
Yeah, and it looks like it's going to be that gateway expand, especially where that pylon is. But is he going to be ballsy enough to go into that nexus first? He's complaining about lag, so I think he's going to definitely chuck down that gateway just for complaining about that.
No, we haven't. He might throw around the forge. The forge also very acceptable in this situation. You just make one cannon to rule them all. So either choice is good as long as he scouts with it, and it looks like he's going to go for Nexus first.
Saving up those probes. Oh no.
Ooh. So this is two metagaming builds here. For instance, Blysk is Blysk is metagame for the simple fact that he didn't scout straight off the bat.
And Nexus first.
Yep. And Mighty Kiwi is metagaming because he's 6-pulling. So both players think their opponent is doing something else, and unfortunately in this regard, Mighty Kiwi has a very distinct advantage.
He's going to miss the links as well. They've run around the other way. This is costly here for Blysk in the first game. As 8 Lings just completely get by with absolutely no scout. He can run straight up into the main. As soon as he spots it, is he going to peck away? No, he's going to run straight up. A wall is... No, it's just a pylon. He's going to cancel that straight up. And this is where it starts to get a bit dicey here for Blysk. 6 Lings are now in his base, and they are going to start working away at those probes. The next 2 Lings are going to jump in there. Is he going to start focusing?
They should go for that pylon.
Yeah, the pylon if they can. But the probes are being pulled off pretty nicely there. He's going to fight. He's going to fight. Yes, he will fight. Some pretty nice probe micro coming down, but there's still so many probes going down here for Blysk. But the Lings is getting pretty short supply. He does. But, no, it's so costly. I mean, like, he lost all those Lings, and he ends up... How many does he kill in total? 11 probes go down.
It's drones and probes are even at the moment. The 6 Lings will die to the 1 Zealot plus a few probes, but Blysk has the second Nexus down.
Yep.
In terms of hold, it wasn't pretty, but it'll do. We've seen plenty of those today. So Mighty Kiwi getting his own hatch down. No gas, so he's definitely looking to macro out of this, but in terms of a game, I'd give a slight advantage to Blysk here. So all he needs to do is take 2 probes with this Zealot, just to defeat the 6 Lings that are currently chipping away at his Nexus. He might even just wait for 2 Zealots, that's perfectly reasonable as well. Yep. I don't think... has he got a Chrono Boost? No, not for a while. Okay, he probably should think about taking 2 probes down, because otherwise the Lings will dance around the Nexus and eventually kill it. Or maybe he's just going to sacrifice it.
Yeah, it looks like he's not going to be able to stop this at all. And Mighty Kiwi's actually got a base behind this. So
I'm a little surprised by Blysk. He definitely had the ability to hold that Nexus.
And
maybe he thinks there's Lings following up. Huh.
I mean, sorely mistaken, unfortunately, as those X-Lings are going to come running up in the base. They find themselves some Zealots. He's going to be able to just kind of dance around, be a bit of an annoyance. He's actually going to be able to move over to this pylon, but he does split up those Zealots. Now, can he catch one out of position and take it down?
No, not possible. 1 Zealot can beat 4 Lings when properly microed, and there's not 4 Lings on either Zealot.
Yep.
Now, what I find interesting about what Blysk did at the start is, if I said he built the Zealot and the 2 probes down, right? He could have then dealt with the 6 Lings with correct micro. And the issue with that is, the Lings then ignore that Zealot and 2 probes, and they go into the main. But he had the second Zealot, on the way that could have defended there. So, in hindsight, maybe I should go the replay and try that for myself, and maybe I'll just lose. But I'm just wondering why he chose that way.
Yeah, I'm guessing he thought, as you were saying, like more Lings coming, but they just never came.
Yeah.
And he loses a couple more lings down to that natural, trying to deny it. Oh, he tries to wall them out, but that's just not happening. He comes in, he's going to see 2 gases down, but only... Okay, now he's going to see both being mined from. Okay.
Yep, and so he's remaking that Nexus now. So,
yep.
You know, in hindsight, very, very smart play by Blysk, although I was kind of wondering why. It's pretty obvious now, he was just playing safe. Wasn't sure if there was more lings on the way. Making sure he didn't get caught out with, you know, a Zealot and 2 probes against, you know, 12 lings, which would have been death for him. So yeah, we see the worker count, the Zerg currently up 5 workers while putting a 3rd down, so MightyKiwi now in a fantastic spot. Doesn't get much better than this for a Zerg player. Forge on the way now for Blysk. And if I was in Blysk's situation, I think... I want to say that I'd kind of turtle it out and try to get to 5 or 6 bases and then play, you know, late game Tempest, Colossi, you know, Void styles. But now that I think about it, getting to that stage is quite hard.
Extremely hard.
He's just going to have to let MightyKiwi take half the map.
Yeah.
And as I've said, as I've said, it seems to me that whenever the Zerg has been kind of like has dictated the pace of the game, they've always won. Yep. So
he's actually lacking in some lings right here, and he's going to lose a bit of damage on this hatch. It's going to be a little bit troublesome.
Yep, and especially there's, I mean, he could just rock this queen up there and then kind of be fine. For the simple fact that he's got enough links. Oh no, he doesn't. That's what, 6? No, this is actually trouble for MightyKiwi. He's gonna have to go now though.
Yeah, he will. And he's got that queen focusing down the Martian core. He's gonna force a recall, but he didn't kill any of those else there, so that's not too bad a recall from Blysk.
Yep, and more importantly, this is what I was talking about earlier, is just putting pressure on. You saw he forced MightyKiwi to make a whole bunch of lings. That could have been 4 or 5 extra drones. Really important to kind of push those.
Now, I wonder what
those lings out.
This is what Blysk is following up with here. He's going into Twilight Council. He's on 2 bases right now. Is he going to try and push out for a 3rd, or is he going to try and make an attack happen here? I don't think he can really make an attack, especially with MightyKiwi being on 3 bases now. Yeah,
at this stage, MightyKiwi is just miles ahead.
Yep.
All of my kind of conjecture was based off Blysk. You know, he had those 2 Nexi and the same amount of probes and enough Zealots to hold, but unfortunately, you know, he lost the Nexus shortly after. So MightyKiwi in a great spot here. Like I said, I'm not really sure what you do as Blysk. I think you just try and maybe turtle it out. Because hitting a timing, it looks like he wants to go blink probably into a 3rd base. He's done that build quite successfully.
Yep.
Not only today, but I've seen him do it previously as well. Does get that overseer, but that's what I'd kind of expect. But yeah, more gates. It looks like he wants to try and go for an all-in. So 2 base, just a standard blink build from Blysk. He's going to go up to 7 gates, so we'll have to see how he goes. I mean, MightyKiwi scouting like a madman for any kind of probes or pylons. And let's see, we've got Hydras already out here.
Yeah, Hydras on their way. They got the Groove Spines on the way. He's also got +1 attack for those ground units, as well as the Roach Speed about to finish up. So he's going to have pretty good tech for his unit composition when it comes down to it. The Hydra's already out, so the Phoenix does see that. I'm not sure if Blysk was watching. But he will see the Hydra Den anyway, so like, he's not going to be he's not going to be surprised anyway if he sees Hydras at his door. And that's what he's doing. I mean, like, Hydras are moving out. Hydra Ling right now. He's actually didn't bother with the Roach production
pretty
at all.
Good. Pretty good against Blink Stalkers when he got a higher supply. And of course, you know, he does scout this 3rd base. I don't think Blysk minds. Just based on the gate timings, like, I've just got a feeling this Nexus is a fake. But the issue is that if you're going to fake a Nexus right and your opponent takes a 4th base and drones, you've still got to be able to kill his current ground army. And that's not something that I think Blysk has the advantage of. But we do see, you know, Colossi tech coming up, so definitely not an all-in, just maybe making sure he had enough gates to be able to defend a 3rd base in the first place.
And here comes Monkey, who wants to deny this.
Yep. It's going to be tight. I mean, this isn't an exactly easy position to hold. He will have Blink though, and you know, a good amount of reinforcements in terms of Stalkers, but he's going to have to trade with these lings that are coming so efficiently. And I just
so many lings coming right now. I mean, the Hydralisk can is also very, very good for just like this kind of army here. Up into this is getting a little bit ballsy, but the Time Warp does go down. The lings are getting into the front line now. The Hydras are going to start doing their DPS from the back. Yeah, he actually zones out a lot. He zones out a lot of those Hydras, but now they're starting to do their damage once again. But it's just the Hydras, nothing to buffer for him right now. And Blysk is taking a really good fight right now. But I mean, the lings are coming in to reinforce right now. More and more lings, and now there's still a few Hydras up. This could just turn very, very quickly into the other favour as the Blinks start going back. The Hydras are still doing damage at the front, but the Blinks will be there once again. He can blink forward and take out the rest of these Hydras if he wants to, and that's what he's going to do.
Yeah, that first blink forward was a little bit of a mistake by Blysk because he wants to be cost effective here. It's his only way back into this game. He does have a Colossi on the way, and that Colossi of course is the key to holding this, but we can see Hive on the way for Mighty Kiwi, and you know, I'd fully expect him to just throw down a Mutalisk Aspire, just for the simple fact that, you know, big map, he's already ahead, you know, Spire to kind of force it. So this Colossi not going to be up for the second push. He's going to have to try and turtle as long as he can. There's not many force fields in this at all, and this is where the Hydras are going to start to shine because they can't get zoned out. There's not enough force fields as he starts pushing everything. The Colossi about to spawn, but he does not have Thermal Lance right now. 13 Roaches on the way. Yep. And can he get up on top of this Colossus and kill it? It doesn't look like he will be able to. Get some damage down onto it. He keeps pressing forward onto it. He's going to try and zone him out to be able to eliminate this third base. But he's actually taking down a lot of probes right now, and he's going to turn on these Stalkers. One gets picked off. He's trying to split up. Nice split.
Yeah, very nice split. Picks off those Zealots before he steps forward again. Now the Roach is up on top of that Colossus. He's going to keep pushing forward for it. He can, and he's gonna not quite be able to. Nice little block there. And he's able to, he does kitty range, and I think this is it for Blysk in game number 1. And it is well played coming down from Blysk. Mighty Kiwi takes a lead in the series 1-0.